Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. So today we are doing something a little bit different. I basically have got my Instagram followers to blindly choose my November TBR. I have seen this going around a little bit and I thought I would hop on the trends. So basically I went through my TBR cart, picked out a few books and put some Instagram stories up where I put a picture on of two books but I covered them and then put some emojis that kind of related to the books. So maybe if you studied the emojis, tried to work out, you could kind of figure out what books were underneath. And then I put a little poll up and asked my Instagram followers to choose which one wanted me to read. So I'm going to be looking through the polls. I don't know which one has won. I've been trying not to look at them. So we're going to take a look through and see what people have chose for me to read in November. As always, if you do want to stay more up to date on what I'm reading, reviews, get involved in things like this, then make sure to follow my book Insta. I am so active on there. I'll put it here and it's always linked down below. So I put 6 up in total, I think, 6 stories. We have 12 books to choose from, but it will end up being 6 books that we put on my November TBR. I did try and kind of pair them up so they were like similar genres. Like I did a romance against a romance, a fantasy against a fantasy, just so that way my TBR kind of has a little bit from every genre. Okay, so the first ones that I put up against each other was Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is the first book in the Boys of Tommen series. I feel like I'm so late to the hype of this one, but everybody's just telling me that they think I will love it because I am a sucker for a series. Once you get like emotionally attached to the characters, I love like a found family. I think it's friends to lovers as well, so I really do want to get to this one. So this was the first option, and for this one I did a rugby ball, a pencil and a heart because I'm pretty sure that it is like a rugby college romance, unless I've made that up. So they're set at like a school as well. And then the one that this is going up against is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Again, I've heard such good things about this. People have said that this is one of their favourite romances, and I've heard that this is her best book or like her most well-loved book. I don't really know what this one is about, but I think it takes place in a hospital. They're both doctors. So the emojis for this one, I did like the stethoscope, a doctor's coat and a little white hat. Let's take a look and see which one won this one. Okay, wait, so I've just had a look and this one is 50-50. It's literally 50% for both books. I'm gonna have to check like the actual votes and see if there is one that has more votes. Is that possible? I don't really know. So I've just had a look at like the exact number of votes and the winner has literally got one more vote than the other one. So this one got 278 votes and Binding 13 got 279. So there is literally one extra vote for this book. So Binding 13 is going onto my November TBR. Then the next thing that I had is a fantasy read, or more specifically a fantasy romance, but I don't really think that matters that much. So we had Divine Rivals and Powerless. I really want to read both of these. I've heard such good things about them both. I feel like these are kind of like some of the top 2 fantasies at the minute. For Divine Rivals, I put like a keyboard, a pencil and some little glitter because I'm pretty sure that in this there's like magical letters or like a typewriter or something, but I couldn't find a typewriter emoji. And we've got little stars on the cover, so they were the emojis for that one. And then for Powerless, I put a sword, a little fairy and a purple heart because I'm pretty sure that this takes place in sort of like a fae type of land, maybe, unless I made that up. But obviously we have a sword in there anyways, and there is purple on there too. So there were the emojis. Let's see which one won. So Powerless actually won by quite a bit. This one got 68% and Divine Rivals only got 32. I actually thought that it would be a little bit more even, but I guess we are adding Powerless to the November TBR. I'm so excited to get to this one. I've heard that this is like one of the most heavily romancy fantasies in a while, I think, but it is like enemies to lovers. Then I do have another fantasy one, but I feel like this one was so obvious and I feel like I know which one is gonna win. So I have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This is the prequel to the Hunger Games series, I think. I'm sure that this movie comes out in November, so I kind of would like to get to this one anyways, but also I don't actually have any desire to pick this up at the moment. But then The one that it's going up against is Fourth Wing, and I know I'm so late to the Fourth Wing hype. I have kind of been saving it for like the cozier months because the autumn and winter just scream fantasy to me, and also I'm kind of scared. I don't think that I'm not gonna like it, like I think I will love this, but when something is so like highly rated, I feel like you do get quite nervous to read it. So for Fourth Wing I did the dragon, a sword and a green heart. So I feel like the dragon kind of gave this one away, and that's why I feel like this one might win, because I've been getting told to read this for months. And then for the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes I put a snake, a little archery bow thingy and a bird. So let's see which one won. I am putting my bets on this one. Okay, so the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes got 39% and Fourth Wing got 61%. So I'm not surprised that it won, but I did actually think they would get like more votes. I thought it would be more heavily weighted towards this one. We'll add this one to the November TBR pile. So I have Under the Sycamore Tree and Once More with Feeling. I actually don't really know much about either of these, to be honest, but they are some of the only romance books I actually have on the rest of my TBR cart. I seem to have gone more into fantasy recently, so these were like two of the only romance I had to put against each other. Anyway, so for Under the Sycamore Tree I did a tree, a leaf and a brown heart because the cover is such autumn vibes. And then for Once More with Feeling I did a microphone, a music note and a blue heart, just because there's microphones on the front cover. I'm sure that she's a famous singer. I actually don't know which one will win because I feel like I haven't heard a lot about both of these books, so maybe they were a little bit too, not niche, because I feel like they are still popular books but they're not as current as some of the others in this video. So Under the Sycamore Tree got 73% and Once More with Feeling got 27%. So Under the Sycamore Tree is the winner and I'll be adding this to the November TBR. I'm excited to get to this one because the cover is just so pretty. I have heard that this is quite sad as well, like everyone says that they have cried at it. Then we have got a little dark academia read. I love a dark academia book in the winter. I feel like the vibes just hit. So we've got Babel. I don't know if this is dark academia, I'm guessing so purely because it is set at Oxford, but I do think this has sort of deeper storylines and sort of themes to do with racism and colonialism, I believe. Don't quote me on that if that is wrong. And then we have Ninth House, which is set at Yale. I think this is maybe like a fantasy dark academia crossover, maybe. It takes place at Yale and I think it deals with like society, but I think they kind of are involved in like magic ritual type thingies. I have wanted to read this one for a while, so let's see which one is the winner. So this one is pretty close. Babel got 47% and Ninth House got 53%. So Ninth House is the winner and I am excited about it. I'm not gonna lie, this is such a daunting book to me. I will get to it eventually, but I'm kind of glad that this one won because I'm excited to finally get around to it. And then the last one that I did is like a literary fiction type of read. So I have Us Against You by Frederick Backman, which is a sequel follow-on type book to Beartown, which I absolutely loved, but I just never have gotten around to reading this one. And then we have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I don't really know what this one is about. I think it is literary fiction and it focuses on, I for some reason think it focuses on video games, but I really don't know if I've made that up. I think this one kind of deals with deeper themes, which kind of reminded me of Us Against You, because if you've read Beartown, it does dive into deeper topics. So I thought that these two would kind of go against each other. So for Us Against You, I did a hockey stick, a little snowflake, and a tree, just because, I mean, look at the cover. It focuses around a hockey team in like a rural snowy town. And then for Tomorrow, Tomorrow and Tomorrow, I did like a little game controller, a wave and like a little video game thingy, just because of the cover. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it focuses on video games. If it doesn't, then that's quite awkward. I don't really know which one I think will win out of these two. I kind of had a feeling that by putting the hockey stick, people would think it was like a hockey romance. But I did try and not do any other like love hearts or anything like that, so that it wouldn't kind of steer it towards a hockey romance. So Us Against You actually won by quite a lot. We got 71% for this one and only 29% for Tomorrow, Tomorrow and Tomorrow. So Us Against You is the final book that I'm going to be adding to my November TBR. So we have got 6 books to add to my November TBR. I feel like I typically read between like 5 and 8 books on average a month, so I feel like this is a good number. I don't want to do too many because then I feel like it's just unrealistic. So we'll go with these 6. So let's go through them. So for our romance read, we have Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. For one of our fantasy reads, we have Powerless by Loudon Roberts. Another one of our fantasy reads, we have the highly anticipated Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. For another romance read, we have Under the Sycamore Tree. Bringing the Dark Academia vibes is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And then to finish up on a literary fiction read, we have Us Against You by Frederick Backman. So they are all of the books I'm going to be adding to my November TBR. Hopefully I will read some more, but these are the ones that I'm going to be prioritising. Thank you if you did take part in the polls and pick these reads for me. Let me know which ones you voted on, and as always, go and follow my book Insta in case we do any more of these and you can get involved that way. But thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned to see if I read any of these in vlogs or if I do a read and wrap up or anything like that. I hope you enjoyed and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye!